We're going to show you how to make a six-pointed star following these directions here, starting with just a piece of square paper. There are a couple things that you want to keep in mind when you're making these folds. And the first thing that the directions say, starting with your square, is to fold it in half. And whenever you make a fold, you always want to try the best you can to get all of the edges lined up and keep them lined up when you make your crease. So I've got these lined up, and one of the tricks to help you keep the edges lined up is to use one hand to clamp the paper down. I'm holding it firmly down with my left hand, and then I simply push the paper away into the fold, and by holding it down with this hand, these edges will stay lined up. I take one finger or one fingernail and I make that crease nice and sharp. I now unfold it, and moving on to the next step, I want to take this lower left hand vertex or corner and I want to fold it up so that it does two things. I want this corner to meet this crease that you just made, and at the same time I want to move the paper so that this edge and this edge meet as closely as I can get it to this corner. And it takes some patience. You've got to move it around, and once you get it to the spot that you think is going to be lined up, I clamp it down again, this time with my right hand, and I push the paper into that fold, and looking to double check to make sure I've got a good alignment here with this point and this crease, and where these two edges meet should be right at that corner. Unfolding the paper, I want to do the same thing, this time from the right hand corner. Fold that up, line up the corner with this crease, and to the best of your ability get these two edges, this edge and this edge, meeting right into that corner. Once I get it lined up, clamp it down with my right hand, push the paper into that fold, use your finger or fingernail to make that a nice sharp crease, and unfold the paper. And we've now got up to step 7. So from this point we go on to the next step, and we want to take this corner, the upper right hand vertex, and we want to fold the paper down so that this edge lines up with that crease. Once again, you want to get this edge with this edge meeting right in that corner. At the same time, you keep this edge lined up on that fold. Clamp the paper down, push the paper into the fold, make it a sharp crease, unfold the paper, and then repeat that starting from this corner. Bring this edge lined up with that crease. Be patient before you make that crease, making sure everything is lined up. Clamp it down with your right hand, push the paper into the fold, and unfold the paper. We've now got it up to step 11, and at step 12 it instructs you to take a pair of scissors and cut along these two folds here. Make sure I follow those creases with my scissors as best I can. Put my scissors off to the side. These two papers are scrapped, so I can put these to the side. And you now have a very special triangle which you should know what it's called, we have all three sides congruent and all three angles congruent. So the next step is to take this vertex and fold it down so that you meet this opposite side right at the midpoint. Again, making sure that the points are lined up before you clamp it, and then push the paper away. Make sure you hold that down nice and firm so that when you crease it, the paper doesn't move. I unfold that, and then I want to repeat that from these 2 points. I often find it easier to rotate the paper so that I'm working in a vertical orientation. So take this point, fold it down to the midpoint, clamp it down with 2 of my fingers and push that up into the fold. And the last point, and I've now completed up to step 17. Step 18 is one that you've got to be very careful with. Make sure you study the picture. What you want to do is take this point, fold it to the center of the circle. So I take the top vertex, I fold it down to the center, making sure that this point matches with where all these creases meet. That's the center of the triangle. And I clamp it down with 1 or 2 fingers and then push it up into the fold, and make sure this fold is really a sharp, firm crease. Turn the paper and repeat it 2 more times. And now do the third vertex to the center of the triangle. And we've now completed up to step number 21. And to finish up your 6-pointed star, what I now want to do is take this top triangle and fold down along this fold that you did several steps ago. And this fold here, which we call a mountain fold because it's kind of sticking out like a mountain, what we simply want to do is reverse it. We don't want to make a new crease, we just want to reverse that and turn it into what we'll then call a valley fold. So do it carefully. Again, don't make a new fold, you just want to take what you had a moment ago and reverse it. Keep that folded in like that, and then turn your paper and repeat the process 2 more times. So I fold that down and then reverse that mountain fold to make it a valley fold. And the last one, fold that triangle in, take this fold and reverse it. And the last step, I'm not going to talk through this, I'm just going to have you watch, and it also gives you a description in the instructions. And if you've made your creases and your folds really accurate, you should have a very nice 6-pointed star. One of the things that you want to look for is where those folds all meet. If there's just a small pinpoint or no opening at all, you've done a nice accurate job. So there's my 6-pointed star, and at this time it's left up to you to make some creative designs on it, use some different colors, and make it your own personal star.